The X Interview, hosted by Global X from the Skoll World Forum.
I think I live on aeroplanes, but mostly I live in Los Angeles and quite a lot in Europe. I am on the board, I'm honored to be on the board of Participant Productions, Jeff Skoll and Jim Burke's film company, making pro-social motion pictures and documentaries and so forth. And I guess what I do also is I'm a serial non-profit pro-social entrepreneur. I started the Starlight Foundation in 1982, and with Steven Spielberg, Star Bright in 1990, and First Star, which is a children's advocacy organization in Washington, D.C. for abused and neglected children in 1999. And most recently, EDAR, Everyone Deserves a Roof, which is a mobile homelessness shelter. That's just 2 years old, so that's my baby. So this was my epiphany, and I think many social entrepreneurs have one. In 1982, I met a seriously ill little boy called Sean. He was 11, he was in hospital in London, and he was very seriously ill with a brain tumor. And my cousin and I asked him what was his greatest wish, and he said, "I would like to see Disneyland." And very naively, we flew him and his mum, who was a cleaning lady, to Los Angeles, and for 2 weeks they stayed with me. We couldn't get a hotel to let them in, and they stayed with me, and we did all of those things that you're not supposed to do with a seriously ill child. And he thrived, and we enjoyed ourselves, and his mum enjoyed herself seeing him other than in a hospital bed. And they went home, and he died. And that was not the epiphany. The epiphany was that I sat in a businessman's lunch with an executive called Steve Yulaki from HBO. And Steve Yulaki, halfway through the lunch, asked me, "What else is new in your life?" Because we ran out of business to talk about. And I told him the story of Sean and his trip to America. And Steve cried in the lunch, which was at the time enormously embarrassing for him and for me and the waiter and the people on the next table and so forth. But I came out, and I remember standing in the elevator thinking, this is the epiphany. This has enormous power. And I called a meeting. The meeting became the Starlight Foundation. Last fiscal year, we raised $45 million. We have offices across Japan, Australia, Canada, the United States, the UK. We're working on affiliates in Amman, Jordan, and Tel Aviv, Israel. We helped 2.4 million client families last year. It all came from that little seed, sitting with Steve in a businessman's lunch and seeing the emotional impact that this idea could have on another human being. I think we live in very dangerous times. This is the first 2 or 3 year period where, as an adult, as the father of 4 children, I have felt that we are deeply threatened to our core, not just by nuclear proliferation, not just by global warming, but by attitudinal shifts which seem to emphasize differences across cultures, religions, nations. I think we need to use new technology, and I hope this does happen by 2017, because it'll come not a moment too soon. I think we need to use the fact that the internet and various kinds of technology are capable of linking us culturally across great divides of geography and culture. We need to run into those methodologies to build ties that bind us in terms of what we share in common, when so many malign and misguided leaders seem to try to give us and give our people pride in their differences. I think we need to make it really, really splendid to emphasize what we have in common. And I hope that by 2017, where we're giving laptops, Nick Negroponte will have his $100 laptops out there in the third world. I hope what we do is break down great divides of nation states and the world's great religions, which seem to often be at each other's throats, and we find the commonality of man, because actually what unites us is infinitely stronger than what divides us. And I'm here to do my little part.
Global X is also on SocialEdge at socialedge.org.